Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It is now week 2 in the NFL season, so we're back with my weekly NFL predictions. If you enjoy the content, make sure you do like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. With that being said, let's get to my week 2 NFL predictions. So yeah, last week kind of, it could have been better for me. Both my Super Bowl predicted teams, both just kind of crap the bed. Not great for them, but we chug along. And yeah, let's get to the previous week recap. So Lions beat the Chiefs. Yeah, it was kind of a shocker for me on that one. Falcons beat the Panthers. Yeah, Panthers just struggled pretty much the whole game. Browns beat the Bengals. Joe Burrow did not show up in this game. Probably the worst game of his entire career. Just awful game. Just overall for the Bengals, but Joe Burrow just really struggled. Jaguars beat the Colts. Yeah, pretty predictable. Buccaneers beat the Vikings. Yeah, I don't know what the Vikings are doing anymore. Yeah, I'm just kind of mind blown. They lost the Buccaneers. Saints beat the Titans. It was probably closer than I anticipated, but still win's a win for the Saints. Niners beat the Steelers. Steelers did not show up in week 1. They looked awful. Niners came and they steamrolled them, just looking super good. Commanders beat the Cardinals. The Cardinals, they're tanking. They're tanking for sure. Ravens beat the Texans. Yeah, Texans, it's going to be long. It's going to be a long year for those guys. Packers beat the Bears. Yeah, pretty predictable. Jordan Love looked really good, though. I was kind of impressed. Raiders beat the Broncos. That's the exact same score of when my Seahawks beat the Broncos last year. So, Broncos, you got a lot to figure out there. Eagles beat the Patriots. Yeah, probably closer than I anticipated, but Eagles get the win. Dolphins beat the Chargers. Chargers just doing Charger things, man. It really sucks. Rams beat the Seahawks. Yeah, my Seahawks. We didn't score a single second half point and just didn't show up in the second half whatsoever. Hell, we barely showed up in the first half. So, yeah, it's just not a good game for the Seahawks. Cowboys beat the Giants. They didn't beat the Giants. They dismantled the Giants. Giants looked awful. Giants week 1 starts this coming week now. Jets beat the Bills in overtime. I don't know how this game went to overtime. I tuned in, I think when it was 13-6. I think it was 13-6. It might have been 16-6. I can't remember. And I turned it off because I didn't think the Jets were going to do anything without Aaron Rodgers. They proved us all wrong. Pretty good for them. 9-7 on the week. Not too bad. And I forgot to mention in last week's video, but my overall record for last season was 176, 104, and 2. Those 2 ties really pissed me off. But yeah, I know, plus what, 72, 73 on the season last year? Not bad. I'm pretty reliable, I'd say. And yeah, after week 1, 9-7, like I said, pretty good. Not too bad. And now we're moving over to my weekly top 5 NFL rankings. So this is going to be real controversial. This is totally my opinion, so yeah, I'm going to piss some people off. Coming in at number 5, I have the Dolphins. Dolphins really impressed me. Their defense didn't impress me as much, but their offense, it looks really, really good, especially with Tyreek Hill. I'm just super impressed with the Dolphins right now. And number 4 is the Lions. I don't want to overreact to week 1, but that was a really, really good win for them. And I think they're gonna ride that high straight into when the Seahawks come. And we won't get into the spoilers part of my predictions yet. But and number 3, Cowboys. I was tempted to put them in number 2. Cowboys look super good, but like I said, it's not overreaction yet. We're not overreacting too much. Number 2 is the Eagles. I think the Eagles are still very dominant on defense. I think as soon as their offense can figure it out, I think their offense is gonna be as good as they were last year. And coming in at number 1, shocker to nobody, is the San Francisco 49ers. We won't say any bad words because we're still pretty early into this video. But yeah, Niners just look good, man. I hate those guys. All right, now we're into the first game of the week. It is Thursday Night Football. It is the Minnesota Vikings at the Philadelphia Eagles. So for the Vikings, they had absolutely no run game last week, and I knew it was going to happen when they got rid of Dalvin Cook. It just doesn't look good for them. They need to find a run game ASAP. They had 1 interception and 2 fumbles last week. That is way too many turnovers. They need to figure it out and stop turning the ball over. Pretty simple. If it's just said like that, pretty simple. Their D-line needs to turn up the pressure. They just are not getting to the quarterback at all, and it showed last week when Baker was kind of just doing wheeling and dealing like he always does. As for the Eagles, they won with Hurts barely contributing. He did not play well last week, but they still won. So I think this defense is going to carry this team quite significantly. And I think they need to lean a little bit more on their run game. They have some decent running backs on this team. And even with Jalen Hurts can run the ball a little bit too. So, yeah, I just think they need to lean more on their run game. And as soon as Hurts and this offense can start to click again, I'm feeling real good about this team. That being said, I got the Eagles winning this one. Eagles 27, Vikings 23. I expect the Vikings to keep it close for a bit, but I don't expect the Vikings to win this game. Alrighty, now over to our early window of games on Sunday. It is the Green Bay Packers at the Atlanta Falcons. So for the Packers, Jordan Love looked really comfortable last week. Like, he has done this before, and he looked very comfortable. So I think the Packers are looking pretty decent. I think their run game wasn't much of a factor last week, but with A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones, I think this team's run game can be really good. And especially if Jordan Love can just take care of the football and do what he did last week, I think this team's going to be pretty decent. As for their defense, they looked a lot better than I expected. I think they lost a couple of players this offseason, but didn't look like it. They looked very good, and like I said, they just looked comfortable in this win. As for the Falcons, Desmond Ridder did not impress me. And this is not a Rogine hating on the Falcons every single week, I promise. I was just not impressed with Desmond Ridder at all. And I'm just not sure if he's the guy, but we'll see. You Falcons fans, you guys comment almost every single week and tell me how you guys are high on Desmond Ridder. So we'll see. As for the run game, Bijan Robinson played last week, and he looked very good. As soon as Cordell Patterson comes back, because he had a thigh injury last week, as soon as he's back and they have this dual running combo that they got, it's money. It's 100% money, and I am so excited to watch. Just as an NFL fan, it's going to be so cool. And I think they just beat a really inferior team last week, and so I'm not holding that win too high on them, in my opinion, because I just don't think the Panthers are very good right now. That being said, I got the Packers winning this one. I think this is going to be a little higher scoring than probably some people think, but I got the Packers in this one. Packers 38, Falcons 27. I just expect the Packers to win. I'm not pigeon-held on this score. Alrighty, in our next game is the Las Vegas Raiders at the Buffalo Bills. So for the Raiders, the run game has to be a factor. Josh Jacobs, I think he ran for barely 50, 60 yards last week. He needs to be contributing quite significantly, especially if they can get him working in the pass game as well. Jimmy game manager needs to continue. You're going to see this as a trend throughout this video. Game manage. That's all a lot of these quarterbacks need to do, and Jimmy is perfect at doing that. So Jimmy game manager, keep it up. Jacoby Myers, a huge surprise. I was not expecting to see that from him, but man, with Jacoby Myers, if he can play like that, with Josh Jacobs in the run game and Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, this team could be pretty decent if their defensive secondary can, do some shit. As for the Bills, Josh Allen, he has to protect the football and stop trying to be Superman every single play. He is the reason they lose some of these games, and it's so frustrating because I think the Bills can be really good, but there are certain times where I see Josh Allen revert back to that quarterback he was in Wyoming, where he was significantly overhyped in my opinion. So we'll see. We'll see what Josh can do. We'll see if he can bounce back this week. As for the run game, they need to go get Jonathan Taylor. They need to go get somebody because the run game is practically non-existent, and this team struggles a lot when they don't have a run game. So they need to go get somebody or figure it out with who you got. But when I look at their roster, I'm not impressed by their running backs, and I just don't think Josh Allen can carry this team. That might be a hot take, but it is what it is. As for Stephon Diggs, he needs a co-star. I just don't know. I don't know how they've gone this long without getting him a co-star. I think they have. I forgot his name. He's number 13 for the Bills. He's just not it, in my opinion. When I'm watching this team, it's just the Stephon Diggs show. You can let Stephon get what he wants, but nobody else will get anything, and it's really apparent. And a lot of Bills fans, I'm going to piss you off. I got the Raiders winning this one. I got the Raiders 27, Bills 24. I'm just more impressed with the Raiders right now, and I think they are going to beat the Bills. Ooh, that's going to be real controversial. So let me know your thoughts on this game in the comment section down below for sure. But I got the Raiders beating the Bills in week 2. Our next game is the Baltimore Ravens at the Cincinnati Bengals. So for the Ravens, they won last week with Lamar barely helping. I think he didn't even throw for over 200 yards if I'm remembering correctly. And yeah, he didn't play that well. And I don't expect a lot of that to change throughout the year, but we'll see, because they will need games where Lamar carries them. So we'll see if he's still got that in him. Zay Flowers looked so good last week. It was just like a Zay Flowers highlight reel every single time they, because I watched NFL Red Zone, every single time they tuned in to the Ravens game, they were just absolutely just showing Zay Flowers highlights the entire day. It was awesome. He looked super good, super comfortable in this offense. I'm very impressed with him. I think they need a reliable running back at all. I just don't think that the running backs they have currently are going to contribute too much for them. That being said, I'm totally ready to be proven wrong. I hope they can figure out the run game. It is week 1, so let's not overreact. That being said, the Bengals they were absolutely awful last year, last week. Joe Burrow, he just needs to bounce back. He needs to complete some passes. They passed the ball to T. Higgins 8 times, and he didn't catch a single pass. Oh, just. I have high hopes for this team, and I'm just a little frustrated with them right now. Their run game needs to show up. Joe Mixon, he needs to do something. I can't remember their backup running back's name off the top of my head, but their run game needs to show up because they can't do everything with Joe Burrow every single time. Their offensive line, just so annoying for this team. They need to change up the offensive play calls because I think they have, how do I word this? Teams have figured them out. Especially the teams in their division, they have figured this team out, and they're very easily beating this team in Cincinnati. So they need to figure something out, change up some of your offense, do some more trick plays, do a little bit more of what the Chiefs do. That's just my opinion. But I want to pick the Bengals. I just can't right now. I was super bummed with their performance last week. So I got the Ravens in this one. Ravens 27, Bengals 23. I wouldn't be surprised if the score was flipped, but as of right now, I got the Ravens in this one. Alrighty, and our next game is my Seattle Seahawks at the Detroit Lions. Okay, so let's get to it. So, what the hell was last week, man? I said it in the early block. We did not score a single second half point. I don't think we got into the red zone a single time in the second half either. We just played like ass. What are we doing? Gino, he needs to do more. And why are we passing it on every single play? And I get it, like, if we're getting 1 to 2 yards running the ball on first down, then we immediately just go pass, punt every single time. And it's so frustrating. I just hate the way this offense runs sometimes. It's so frustrating. But I think if we can get some of our injured players to play this week, I think we can do some stuff. And one of our offensive linemen, he's injured, and we went and signed Jason Peters. I don't know how good that's going to be. He's old. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know what this team's doing. I'm so worried. I'm just so worried every week. It's like I need a stress ball the entire time I'm watching my Seahawks play, man. As for the Lions, Goff played excellent last week. I did not expect that out of him, and he played so good. And Jahmyr Gibbs, feed this man. Feed him. He is going to be your running back for the future. Oh my God, Jahmyr Gibbs is so good. Every single time he touched the ball, it was electric. I was so impressed with Jahmyr Gibbs, man. Just keep feeding him the ball. I think they need elite wide receivers in Detroit. I think the ones, let me rephrase that. I think they have elite wide receivers in Detroit. Amon-Ra St. Brown, and I can't remember his name, the other player that went off this last week. Holy crap, they look so good. And they're almost unguardable. They're just running slants and post patterns the entire middle of the field, and they're just open all day. And yeah, it's working. That being said, I'm saying it now. I'm not betting on my Seahawks the rest of the year. That was the mistake I made week 1. I didn't make that mistake last year. I made that mistake this week. No. I got the Lions winning this one. I got the Lions winning big. I think they are going to trounce the Seahawks if the Seahawks don't fucking show up, man. Seahawks, please show up. Alrighty, now let's lighten the mood a little bit. So we got the LA Chargers at the Tennessee Titans. So for the Chargers, 0 sacks last week. If you look at the players the Chargers have on defense, especially the defensive line, they should get at least a sack every single game. I don't understand how they didn't get a single sack on Tua at all last week. I think Justin Herbert, he needs to carry more. And I know everybody puts him in the top like 3 quarterbacks currently in the league. I don't see it yet. I'm a huge Oregon Duck fan, so I watched Justin Herbert, and he was super good in college, but he just needs to contribute more. He needs to have that takeover factor like Patrick Mahomes has, and I just haven't seen that yet in him. If he can do that, I think the Chargers will have some money at the quarterback position. As for their run game is insane with Austin Eckler and Kelly. They look so good, and they need to continue to run the ball, continue to get these guys the ball as many times as you can, because, man, they look so good in the run game. As for the Titans, 3 interceptions by Tannehill, man. That can't happen. I knew this would happen. Ryan Tannehill, no offense. I'm sure he's a good guy in real life. I don't think he's the quarterback for the future for this team. And I'm done. I'm done with Tannehill. I don't think Malik Willis is the guy, in my opinion, but I would put him in over Tannehill, in my opinion. Continue to feed King Henry. Man, this man stiff arms like it is his god darn job. Every single time, man. He just looks so good. Continue to feed him. He is your best player by far. And I think DeAndre Hopkins, he had a really quiet game, and I was super underwhelmed by him. I think he had maybe 60 yards, but yeah, super underwhelming Titans this past week, man. That being said, I got the Chargers. I'm not confident in this pick because I think both these teams are trash. Well, I don't think the Chargers are trash. They just play like trash. But I got the Chargers winning this one. Chargers 31, Titans 20. Like I said, I'm not confident in this pick. And our next game is the Chicago Bears at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So for the Bears, it is Justin Fields, the one-man show. That's what they should put on the damn stadium. Justin Fields, the one-man show. Because this bloody man is doing every single thing for this team, and it is so annoying. You went and got DJ Moore. He was not a factor at all this week. I'm not sure if he's a number one. I think he really wants to be, so treat him like a number one. Feed his ass the ball. Get something going. It's just Justin Fields on this team, and he can't carry every single week, especially against the better defenses in the league. And they need another runner besides Fields. Like I said, oh my God, it's so frustrating watching this team. It's just the Justin Fields show. It's just him. I feel so bad for this kid. As for the Buccaneers, Baker, game manager. That's all they need him to do, and he did it excellently last week. They have no run game to be seen at all. They need to figure it out. Go get Jonathan Taylor, which they don't have the money for that, so never mind. This team's just going to have to make do with what they got. Maybe go get a free agent if there's a decent running back at free agency. I still think they have great skill pieces with Chris Godwin and what's his bloody name? Mike Evans. I just think those two tremendous wide receivers. I don't expect them to stay in Tampa for much longer after this season, unless they plan to just be in obscurity in Tampa. But still, I still got the Buccaneers winning this one. Buccaneers 24, Bears 23. I wouldn't be surprised if the Bears won this game, but just seeing Justin Fields run around every single play is so damn frustrating, man. But I got the Buccaneers over the Bears. And our next game is, in my opinion, the game of the week. It is the Kansas City Chiefs at the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think the Chiefs are going to bounce back. They had 0 run game last week. I don't expect that to be the same case going forward for sure. I think they need Travis Kelce back, and they need a new number 1 wide receiver. If they can go get a free agent that's decent, that they don't have to pay too much, I think they should do it. Because the wide receivers they currently have, I am not impressed by any of them, especially, and like I said, I don't want to overreact to week 1, but Kadarius Toney, man, what the hell was that? What the hell was that? They need to just stop dropping these perfect passes, because Mahomes will get you the ball. 1,000% he will get you the ball. All you got to do is secure that catch. That's all you got to do. Oh, that was a travesty last week for them. As for the Jaguars, continue to feed Etienne. Etienne he gets better every single day, every single game that I see him, in my opinion. I think he's tremendous, or he has the potential to be tremendous. So continue to feed this man. Calvin Ridley, oh my God, he looked so good last week. If you do fantasy football and nobody has Calvin Ridley in your fantasy, get him. He is tremendous. He is so good. My God, he's so good. They need to just take care of the football. They had, I think it was 4 fumbles last week, and they recovered, I think, 2 of the 4. They need to not They need to not do that. Just stop fumbling the ball. Take care of the football. It's essentially rule 1 in football. Take care of it. So, yeah. I think the Jaguars could win this game. I really, really think they could. But I don't think they will. I think Chiefs bounce back. I got the Chiefs 28, Jaguars 27. I'll be 100% honest. I'm not confident in this pick. I think either of these teams could win. They both have a lot of great things, and they both have kind of some weak points for sure. But as of right now, I'm not betting against the Chiefs. All right, and our next game is the Indianapolis Colts at the Houston Texans. You know, I was debating not talking about this game because this is just 2 trash can teams, but we're talking about every team until who knows when. But I was super impressed with Anthony Richardson in week 1. I thought he was way better than I thought, which I know a lot of people said that he was the most game ready for the NFL. But yeah, I was happily impressed with Anthony Richardson in week 1. They have no run game without Jonathan Taylor. I think it's just going to be Anthony Richardson, which I expect them to make him run the ball significantly more going forward. But yeah, Jonathan Taylor, they need him. They need him bad, but he doesn't want to be there. He wants to win, and Colts are shit. As for the defense, they just need to show up. They have a decent defensive line, but their secondary I'm not impressed with, and I don't expect this team to win very many games because of their defense. Because all you got to do is get the ball out quick, like I said, because I don't trust the Colts secondary whatsoever. As for the Texans, protect CJ Stroud, please. That's what most of these teams need to do. Just get a good offensive line, or just play call for them to just block as much as they can and get the ball out quick. That's all you got to do. Help CJ as much as you can, please. They have no run game at all. And I think they had 2 decent running backs last season. And where are they? I haven't seen them in week 1. Maybe they'll bounce back this week, but yeah, not impressed. And I think they need to feed Robert Woods. Robert Woods really wanted to be a number 1 wide receiver. That's why he left LA in the first place. So prove it. Prove it, Robert Woods. Get the ball, make plays, make guys miss, and help your team get some dubs, dude. Get CJ's first dub of the NFL. That being said, I do have the Texans winning this one. I got the Texans 23, Colts 20. This one could go either way because, you know, like I said, Anthony Richardson, I think he can do some magic, but I still got the Texans in this one. Alrighty, now we're over to the late window of games. We have the San Francisco 49ers at the LA Rams. So for the Niners, Brock, game manager. He's tremendous at doing this. He is so good at being a game manager, and that's all they need him to do. Just manage the game and don't turn the ball over. I think their skill positions will be a huge plus for them all year. Brandon Ayuk, Christian McCaffrey, they both went over 100 yards. Debo, George Kittle, take your pick. They have so many good pieces, and it's not fair. It's not fair. Like, can we just, like, they're like a damn monopoly. Can we just, like, take some of their players and give it to other teams, dude? I'm just sick of this team. Their D-line looked insane last week. I know there was a clip of Nick Bosa getting shoved to the ground, but still, I still think this team's super good. They're gonna be super good all year. God, I hate them. But I hate the Rams more, man. Stafford, he looked super good last week. So annoying. They had amazing 3rd down conversion rate. I think if they can keep that up, they could probably make a run for the playoffs, but whatever. I hate both these teams. Can they tie? Can we vote for a tie, please? Their defense needs to play like that every single week. I know they lost Jalen Ramsey, but their D-line was still putting pressure all over us, all over my Seahawks last week, and I think they can continue to do it. That being said, I still got the Niners in this game. I got the Niners 27, Rams 17. I don't expect this game to be that close, but I could be wrong. I know our whole division, they kind of just shit on each other all year, but as of right now, I got the Niners in this one. All right, our next game is the New York Giants at the Arizona Cardinals. So for the Giants, just score 1 point. That's all anybody's really asking for at this point. Just score 1 point. Protect Daniel Jones. Their offensive line is awful, but at the same time, Daniel Jones puts himself into a lot of precarious situations. So just, okay, I don't know. No more turnovers, please, for the love of God. They had, 7 turnovers last week? What the hell? How did you let that happen? Oh, man, Giants are a funny team, man. As for the Cardinals, their run game needs to be established. Like I said last week, James Conner, I'm not impressed. You have to do something. You need to contribute for this team. But Josh Dobbs, I don't think he was the reason for their loss. I think he kept them in that game for quite a while. But I don't think they have any elite wide receivers, and I just don't expect much from this team. Like I said, I think they're tanking. They're tanking for Caleb. And yeah, I got the Giants winning this one. Giants bouncing back after not scoring a single point last week. Giants 20, Cardinals 17. Yeah, I got the Giants in this one. All right, our next game is the New York Jets at the Dallas Cowboys. This game, if Aaron Rodgers was playing, this game would be so good. But no Aaron Rodgers. He's out for the year. Oop, I messed up some of my colors, so you guys are going to have to deal with that. Sorry. So, yeah, Aaron Rodgers, he's out for the year. I think Zach Wilson, he just needs to game manage. That's all he needs to do. Just take care of the football and feed Breece Hall. Feed that man. Breece Hall is him. I'm totally convinced. I was super impressed last year. Then he got injured. He came back week 1, and he was so damn good in week 1. It was crazy, crazy how good he was. So continue to feed him the ball, please. As for the Cowboys, their defense looked insane last week. They're going to continue to look insane. I expect this to be one of the best defenses in the league. I think Tony Pollard, he wasn't terrible. He definitely contributed more than I thought he was going to. I'm still not convinced he can be the running back 1, but it is what it is. We'll see if he can continue being good. Dak, he just needs to do more going forward. Dak was not the reason the Cowboys won last week. Let's be 100%. He was not the reason they won, but he didn't contribute into them losing whatsoever. So just keep that up, Dak, please. That being said, I got the Cowboys winning this one. Like I said, it's just I don't trust Zach Wilson, and they don't have Aaron Rodgers. So, and I do expect the Cowboys defense to stop Breece Hall this week. So I got the Cowboys 27, Jets 13. Yeah, I feel bad for the Jets. All right, and our final late window game on Sunday is the Washington Commanders at the Denver Broncos. So protect Sam Howell. He had 6 sacks last week, and they still won. How does that happen? I genuinely have no idea. No run game. This team also has 2 pretty decent running backs that they had last season, and those 2 need to show up because, yeah, Sam Howell is running for his damn life every single play. It's sad. They need to find a number 1. I think they still have McLaurin, if I'm correct. Somebody in the comments tell me if I'm wrong, but other than him, I don't see this team having any significant weapons. They're kind of just, they don't have any like big name players or anything like that, and I'm just not impressed with anybody they have on their roster currently. So, I think they need to go get somebody to help Sam, for the love of God. As for the Broncos, I will say Russ was not bad last week, and anybody who says otherwise, I'll fight you, because I don't think he was terrible last week, and I don't think he's the reason they lost. He didn't contribute significantly into them winning, obviously, because they lost, but I don't think he was awful. Feed Javonte Williams. Javonte, he looked super good last year, and he was looking good in week 1, but they just don't give him the ball enough. Give him the ball. Stop passing the ball so much. But I don't know. Sean Payton's, his offense is a little weird. I think they need to find a number 1. I'm not sure if Jerry Jeudy is going to be playing in week 2, but if he can come back, maybe he can actually be a number 1 for them. But yeah, I'm just not impressed with their offense as of right now. Maybe they can do something, but too many injuries. And yeah, I got the Commanders winning this one. Commanders 20, Broncos 17. I wouldn't be surprised if the Broncos won, but I'm not betting on it. All right, now we're over to the Sunday night football game. It is the Miami Dolphins at the New England Patriots. So I think Tua looked great last week. Even without the run game, I don't think they need one. And this is one of the only teams that I can say that with, because Tyreek is him. Tyreek is so damn good. You just give this man the ball anywhere on the field, and if he can get an edge, that guy's gone. He is gone every single time. And you know, I was hearing a lot of people say that they think he might win MVP this year. I wouldn't be surprised, and I'm all for it. I think Tyreek is really good. As for the Patriots, I think Mac Jones, he showed up, but it was too little too late. They were down too many points for him to make a significant impact or comeback. But yeah, we'll see. I'm just not impressed with Mac Jones, but we'll see what he can do. I think no run game at all is horrible for this team. because they have Zeke and, man, I can't remember his name. Anyway, they have two competent, maybe competent's the wrong word. Like they're 4 out of 10 on the scale. They're 4 out of 10 running backs, both of them. And I don't think they're significantly good, but they need to figure something out on defense because, like I said, I don't trust Mac Jones to have to carry you every game. I still think their defense looks super good. I expect them to be good throughout the rest of the season, but I got the Dolphins winning this one. I got Dolphins 31, Patriots 20. Yeah, I will not be high on the Patriots this year. Alrighty, and now we are over to our Monday Night Football games. We do have 2 Monday Night Football games, which I thought was weird, but it is what it is. Our first one is the New Orleans Saints at the Carolina Panthers. So for the Saints, I think Derek Carr looked like vintage Derek Carr. When he was in Oakland, he looked so similar to what he was doing in Oakland. And I didn't put it here, but Mother needs to just game manage, man. Just keep game managing, and I think this team is going to be pretty decent. I think no run game until Alvin Kamara comes back, which I don't think is until week, I think 4, 5, or 6. I can't remember. It's one of those weeks. But yeah, I don't think they're going to have a run game until he comes back. So Derek Carr is going to need to carry this team for the next few weeks. But with weapons like Chris Olave, I think it's Raheem Shaheed. I think that's how you pronounce it. And Michael Thomas, those guys are so good. Holy shit, it is so fun to watch this offense sometimes. If you could just feed those 3 men the football, this team's going to be so damn good. Oh my god. It's crazy how good they are. I think Bryce, as for the Panthers, I think Bryce looked super average in week 1, and which it is what it is. I know he's the number 1 overall pick, and we all expect him to just hop in and go to the Super Bowl, but he just looked average to me in week 1. So we'll see if he can do something else. But yeah, and Miles Sanders, he needs to be relied on more. They need this run game, especially with Bryce struggling like he did in week 1. They need a run game as soon as possible. And I just don't see any real number 1 weapon for Bryce, and I don't expect that to change at all this season. I do expect him to build off of Bryce going forward, but as of right now, I got the Saints winning this one. I got the Saints 24, Panthers 20. I'm just not high on the Panthers at all right now, and they did not look good in week 1. Alrighty, and our final game is our second Monday Night Football game. It is the Cleveland Browns at the Pittsburgh Steelers. So for the Browns, Deshaun, he wasn't a major factor in week 1, and they still won by 3 touchdowns. So say what you will. Say what you will about him, but man, I don't know. I don't know what to make of Deshaun anymore. So we'll see. Nick Chubb, he can still carry this team. Even if he is the only good running back on their roster, I think he can still carry this team quite significantly. So I expect that to continue. Their D-line, it might be up there for best in the NFL. Probably up there with the San Francisco 49ers. But yeah, their defensive line looks so good, and I think they can carry them quite significantly, especially in this what seems like a dumpster fire division sometimes. As for the Steelers, too many turnovers, man. And they just couldn't get any points on the board at all until they got that touchdown. I think it was in the 3rd quarter. But they need Kenny Pickett to show up. They need him to show up and game manage. Like I said, I'm going to say it a billion times this season, but just game manage, man. And like I have here on the second bullet point, no one really made a difference. You need Kenny Pickett. You need, what's his name? George Pickens? Is that his name? You need Najee Harris. You have these great pieces on your offense. They need to show up. And as for defense, it's just TJ Watt at this point. I think he had all of their sacks last week. How does that happen? I know TJ Watt's amazing, but they need somebody to help this man on defense, especially in that secondary, because they were just getting torched by Brock Purdy and the San Francisco shitters. God, I still have the Steelers winning this one. Steelers 24, Browns 21. I'm not confident in this game, strictly for the fact that I think the Browns could probably win. But it is what it is. And with that, we are done with my week 2 predictions. What did you think? Did I shit on your team? Did your team deserve to get shit on? Probably, but let me know your thoughts of my picks in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next week, next Thursday, with my week 3 predictions. See ya.